When I was in grade school, a friend of mine gave me a Game Boy Advance with a copy of Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories. During that time, being a kid, I was much more into Pokemon though. Everyone was on the bus playing it, and of course I followed suit, leaving my copy of Chain of Memories to collect dust. I had failed to get into what I now call my favorite video game series of all time, but in 2009, this trailer would come on my TV.
The untold chapter of the Kingdom Hearts saga is here.
I still remember how it all played out. I had my birthday party earlier that year and I got a white DS, and of course, sure enough, I was hyped to play this game. I saved all my birthday money, and as fate would have it, the day I had my party was the exact same day that the game released, September 29th, 2009, and that would be the start of my journey into the Kingdom Hearts series. Following Roxas, Xion, and Axel through their year together while a boy named Sora kept coming up and putting a wedge in between their friendship, I saw form right before my eyes, whether it was Saïx and Xemnas acting like assholes, treating Xion and Roxas as disposable tools that would one day have to face each other, or Riku and Naminé telling Xion the choice she had to make things right again will cause pain, regardless of if she chose to give her time up with Roxas and Axel to help them complete Sora, or if she chose to stay in the organization in which she would one day have to fight Roxas for the spot of the 13th member, and of course be their proper replacement for Sora, which would lead to Riku having to fight one of them to get his friend back, and how Xion's shocking identity led her to what she felt was the best choice, and how Axel had to deal with the polarizing emotions of loyalty to the organization or loyalty to his friends. The hints of what loyalty to a friend has done before with Saïx or Isa, so he chooses the organization and its cause, knowing deep down at least maybe Roxas has the strength to prevail in his fight with Xion, and he eventually does. But the cost was greater than what Axel had expected and anticipated. He lost the last friend that he actually had, and how it all culminates with the crushing of Roxas's body at the hands of Riku as Xion says her last goodbyes to him as their connection slowly fades completely. That was my first Kingdom Hearts experience, and I still look back on it fondly to this day, because had it not been that, I honestly could say I may not have been a fan of Kingdom Hearts. It was that self-contained story that made me eager to discuss the games with friends. I remember I only found out about Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep by getting into an argument on the bus about whether or not Ventus was Roxas after seeing one of the cutscenes leading to once again another purchase, which led to me purchasing, of course, Kingdom Hearts Recoded, and eventually Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, with my first time playing Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 being back in mid 2016, a wholesome 7 years later. And that leads us into the topic of today's video. Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be what 305 Days Over 2 was for me back in 2009. Fairly recently, we had the Angry Joe situation, which led to a whole debacle of whether or not people should play the previous Kingdom Hearts games before playing Kingdom Hearts 3. Does that make Kingdom Hearts 3 a bad story if that's the only way you can enjoy it if you play all the games? And if you don't put in that time with 1 through Dream Drop Distance or 0.2 to cover all my bases, do you have the right to talk about the story of a game you spent $60 on, which, let's be real, you can make whatever decision you want to, whether or not you want to talk about it. It's your choice. You spent the $60 on it. You experienced the story yourself, in my personal opinion. So honestly, there is nobody can tell you that you can't talk about it. But to be fair, let's talk about these points. Let's talk about them in full detail. Now, a lot of other YouTubers in the community went on this rant about, oh my god, you have to play all of them or shut up about the story, and you have 1.5 plus 2.5 and 2.8 all on one console. There's no excuse altogether right now. The whole series is about $60, which is true. But I don't find this a fair argument, as 1.5 plus 2.5 and 2.8 aren't on the Xbox One for one, so this isn't even an option for the hundreds of thousands or millions of people that are going to be getting Kingdom Hearts 3 on that platform. 2, objectively, the idea of Kingdom Hearts 3 not being a good story if you haven't played all of the games does put a negative blanket over Kingdom Hearts 3 in a public atmosphere. One thing that has always kept me out of comics is that the characters date back almost 40 years prior to even my birth, so that would make them going back like 60 years now. Now, while you don't need to know everything about comics to read storylines like the New 52 storyline or standalone stories, those decades of stories intimidate the fucking hell out of me. Now, take that and apply it to someone who thought they'd pick up this entry, who may enjoy it and want to review it, or who may just want to sit down and play it. If they don't have past knowledge and the games and stuff doesn't tell them its own story while giving exposition on long running plot lines, that's bad for Kingdom Hearts 3. And my third and final point has to do with Nomura, Tai Yasue, and Shinji Hashimoto themselves, which have all come out and said at some point that Kingdom Hearts 3 is being prepared and being created and crafted in a way that new fans will be able to get the long running plot lines, and there's an original story there for new players and old fans alike. This also goes with the new gimmicks they're adding to each world for variety for new players who don't understand the layered combat just as they did back in 2006 with Kingdom Hearts 2. Now, to be fair, that doesn't make the point wrong per se. Either anyone who is going to review Kingdom Hearts 3 should be willing to be transparent that they have not played or at least researched the story. There's channels like Everglow and Scotty77 that go out of their way to at least, of course, put out enough of the cutscenes and enough of the story and make it understandable by doing it in like chronological order, or just by simply playing through the whole games and putting the cutscenes up and actually talking about like the reports and things like that. There are those kind of channels out there, so definitely if you want to put in the time, go ahead and put in the time. You don't actually have to drop like the $60. Once again, there's channels like Everglow and Scotty77 who does all of that fucking work, plus me myself, but of course I be kind of untimely with it, so fuck me. But go ahead and go check out Everglow and Scotty77 if you're new to, of course, Kingdom Hearts, if you're checking out this video. But that does put a negative connotation on Kingdom Hearts 3 in a public atmosphere, that if you haven't played 1 through 0.2 or 1 through Dream Drop Distance, then you then can't talk about the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, and of course, for some reason you won't get the story of Kingdom Hearts 3. That puts a negative connotation on the story of Kingdom Hearts 3, and this is a huge disservice to what Tetsuya Nomura, Tai Yasue, and Shinji Hashimoto have all said themselves about how this game is going to be welcoming to new players. So it's kind of wrong for us as fans, even though we're very hardcore fans, and of course definitely even me personally, I feel like someone who would be disingenuous and act like they know what they're talking about Kingdom Hearts while they're reviewing it and talking about the story, definitely I would think that that's a wrong thing to do. So I'm definitely not disagreeing with that idea. However, when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 3 and whether or not people should be able to talk about it, I feel like they definitely should be transparent about that idea. They don't have to not talk about the game because they haven't talked about this, of course, the previous games, or they haven't played the previous games, but rather they should be transparent and let people know and inform them, hey, I'm not the best person when it comes to all of the different plot lines within Kingdom Hearts 3, but definitely they should still be allowed to talk about the story. To close this video out, I want to harken back to my time with Days and the story of how it got me into Kingdom Hearts. If I had been a reviewer back then, the story of Days would have been highly regarded by me. I love the story of 358 Days Over 2, and people are going to find that same love and passion with Kingdom Hearts 3. And I want to hear every single one of those reactions and reviews. I want to know if it's going to get people to go back and invest the time and money I did over the past 9 years. And I think it's also appropriate for people that are in the same boat as them, that they do some kind of review, they do talk about it, they do give some kind of reaction. So in my personal opinion, I feel anyone who enjoys Kingdom Hearts 3 or not should give their thoughts on it. Kingdom Hearts 3 should have a story that new players can sit there and enjoy, just like I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2. It doesn't matter if it's the culmination of everything that we've had thus far within the series and this is the ending point of a whole arc. That doesn't matter. Its story should still be self-contained enough that, of course, people can play it and see the development from where Sora starts at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3 to where he ends off on, and of course the other characters as well, and how, of course, this all plays into the war. Because if we had the war right after 358 Days Over 2 and Roxas, Axel, and Xion died, I would have been fucking bawling my eyes out. And that's because I became connected to those characters through the story that 358 Days Over 2 served. And the reason why I'm giving this perspective, and I told you the story of 358 Days Over 2 and how it got me into Kingdom Hearts, is because I was essentially these people who are going to be starting Kingdom Hearts with Kingdom Hearts 3. So definitely I feel like, we should give them more credit as long as they're willing to be transparent. The only wrong side of this discussion was the arrogant people already making the game sound bad objectively for new people by stating the opposite of what Nomura, Tai Yasue, and Shinji Hashimoto have all said, and the idea 1 and 2 are the only games you need to play. I mean, if you're going to put in the effort to play 1 and 2, you might as well get 1.5 plus 2.5 and Kingdom Hearts 2.8 and play through the whole series. But if you're not, then of course, if you just want to look at the cutscenes, once again, there's channels like Everglow, Scotty77 who provide all of the cutscenes. Everglow right now is doing an amazing job doing, of course, the whole timeline themed playthrough, and definitely anyone can check that out and get on board with that and actually watch through the whole series. He's making them like 30 minutes long and he's moving through them pretty fucking fast. So definitely I think you should go check out Everglow, go check out Scotty77. If you're new to Kingdom Hearts and you checked out this video, go check out those 2 channels. But that's pretty much my thoughts on this discussion. I know a lot of people pretty much wanted to hear my thoughts on it. On Twitter, I saw a lot of people like the comment that I had about, of course, this whole thing that went down. So definitely I wanted to go ahead and put out a video that said, hey, I once was in the same position as these people who are going to be starting with Kingdom Hearts 3. I didn't go back and start with Kingdom Hearts 1 until 305 8 Days Over 2 released. I legitimately started with 305 8 Days Over 2. I had got it for my birthday literally that year. So that got me into Kingdom Hearts. And the reason why I feel like people should be allowed to talk about Kingdom Hearts 3, whether or not they've played all of the games or not, as long as they're being genuine and telling people, hey, you know, I haven't played them all, so maybe there's a lot of plot lines I missed and stuff, but I don't understand this and that. And of course, if they put it under that umbrella that they just don't have the knowledge to probably talk about those things, that's fair. But telling people that they can't talk about the story whatsoever, like I saw some people saying, that's completely wrong, because then you're pretty much doing a disservice to what Tetsuya Nomura, Tai Yasue, and Shinji Hashimoto have all said at some point, that this story will actually have enough there for new players. They're building it and crafting it with the idea that there's going to be a lot of new players who are going to jump in with Kingdom Hearts 3 because of all of the new shit that they've shown and how flashy the game fucking looks. Obviously, they're expecting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of new people or new players to play Kingdom Hearts 3. So thank you guys for tuning into this video. This is being boy Amaziah. If you want to get into the discussion, get into the comment section down below and tell me how you think about people playing it. Do you think that, or people talking about it, I should say, do you think that people should at least just be genuine about whether or not they don't know certain plot lines, or whether or not maybe some of the plot lines they missed? But do you think that they should still be able to talk about the story in general? Or do you think that the story that I told you about, me talking about 305 8 Days Over 2 and how it got me into Kingdom Hearts and led to my big passion for Kingdom Hearts, do you think that that kind of still doesn't give people the right to talk about it if they have that same experience with Kingdom Hearts 3? Once again, I feel like people have the right to talk about whatever the hell they want to talk about because they spent their own $60 on it. But I also would love for them to be genuine and be real and tell people, you know, that they haven't played all of the games. I feel like that was a better argument to make than trying to say that you can't talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 because you haven't played all of the games. But this is me, your boy Amaziah. Don't forget to do a little A-class gaming and everything you do. Don't forget to keep it A-class. If you want to hit me up with your thoughts directly, follow me on Twitter at AmaziahYT and send me your tweet. And of course, I'll obviously respond to you because I respond to all my tweets. Peace the heck out.
What's left of me? What's left of me? And you and I, there's a new life.